Hello, my name is Vortex Warp, and welcome back to episode 4 on the Ancientcraft server. And today we're going to be starting off with a common theme of heading into the Nether, because this episode we're going to look for our new base, which is in Mesa Island. There were two Mesa, it's kind of a Mesa Island, it's kind of just a Mesa continent. There were two Mesa biomes in this world, and I claimed one of them, and Calagrian Knight claimed the other one. And he seems to have gone to one of them, so I'll go to the other one. And there's an island just off the coast of the main mesa, so I'm going to head over there. The coordinates in the nether I've calculated using a mist and also some quick maths. Minus 63.92. So okay, so we've reached the location and created ourselves a portal, so let's head through. Hopefully we end up on a little mesa island just off the coast of a main continent, which is what I saw from a mist. Fingers crossed. Phantoms! I just got knocked off by one. Did not expect that. Right, we need to sleep. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is go and grab my beacon from my Instamine, because we can make ourselves another mine under here. But first I want to set up a few chests so I can dump what I've got on me already, because we want to make as few trips as possible. Oh, I hate how the chests do that now. I'm going to try and go somewhere central for the beacon, and I think here is a good location as any, so let's head down, and we can place the beacon right at the bottom of the world to get the maximum range for it. I've got my blocks, I've got my beacon. I have to convert one of these blocks to activate the beacon, but I have enough, so that's fine. And we're going to head right down to the bottom of the world, set the beacon up, and then we'll have haste 2 both in our biome and in an Instamine belief, which I think is a great thing. This is a nice find, a skeleton spawner right beneath our base, which is awesome. It's low down in the world, which is a pain, but that's still cool. Let's see, I might leave all of this stuff in here, because I'm going to come back at some point. And let's see, can we get across here? I don't want to lose my beacon. Okay, so now that we're at the mesa and we've got stuff set up, I want to try and build a villager crop farm. We're going to get a villager crop farm up and running, and then hopefully we'll eventually get a villager breeder. So, I've already started work on this with the help of Crazy Creeper, who's decided to base with us again this season, like from Season 3. Although we only based together right at the end. And we've built this platform, and I've got dirt, water buckets, and torches, and I think that's all I need for the start bit. I will need carpets and glass and stuff like that after, but I just want to get building to start with, build up the basic framework of the farm. I also probably want to bring some stone as well to actually build the frame with. We're building it up in the sky because I want to build some sky base kind of this season. And we are going to decorate it afterwards, of course, make it not look like an ugly stone box. So some progress has been made on the farm. I've done the first layer, everything apart from getting the villagers in. I don't know if the farm's going to 100% work, although there is a redstone fix I can do. Because I've tested it in creative in 1.13 and it works, but not too well. And some other people have said that it doesn't work in 1.13. So if it doesn't work, there is some redstone I can do to fix it, but if it does work, then all's good. So I'm going to have to go search for the villagers now. And to do that, I'm going into the nether. I've got some coordinates here. The nearest village is 6421 in the nether, although I think we've probably looted that one already. So I've also got another one, which is 154, 140 in the nether. So I'm going to head there a portal and then boat them back here. Okay, so I've got to find a villager with an empty inventory. I'm going to bet this nitwit has one. And so let's quickly capture it up. We've got a boat actually. We also need a farmer villager. So let's grab ourselves another boat here. And I want to just check some trades. In fact, next I'm not going to be able to see any. Let's see. I did see some farmers hanging about, doing some farming. Oh, there's a librarian in there. Let's check him out. Silk touch for 6. Is that a perfect trade? I am now travelling a long and tedious journey back. I've gathered myself my farmer villager, and I'm going to go back for the nitwit soon. Hopefully we can get this crop farm up and running really rather shortly. I'm going to leave the librarian there for now, simply because I haven't got a place to store him yet, and hopefully no one will take him, because we've captured him really. I might put a sign on him to claim him, seize mine, because he has got Silk Touch for 6. The perfect trade I think is 5, but it's close enough that I'm happy with that as my Silk Touch villager, and I don't want to do more villager sorting than I have to. I was hoping for Mending, but unfortunately we didn't get any Mending at that place. And yeah, now I've just got to travel back along this long path. And now we have the second villager. This is the Nitwit. We're on our way. Let's meet up back at the crop farm. Okay, so I'm about to release this villager. He's not going to give away his food, but he is going to plant. I hope. And yes, he's already got stuff in his inventory, so I'm going to wait till he plants all of that and mine it away, because I don't want seeds in this layer. I want either carrots or potatoes. So I've basically got to collect all of his seeds. Is that everything? If I give you a carrot, are you now going to plant it? Well, 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 ladies and gentlemen. What has been for you just a couple of seconds, in fact, just one single cutaway, has been for me probably more than a week. That's right, I've been on holiday several times and now I'm back, and I've also made a bunch of progress. One of these things is, of course, expanding this thing, my carrot and potato farm, which I practically finished in the last clip, but I finished that layer and I've added 2 more on top, 1 potato and 1 carrot. And that has been producing, as you can see. There's a little bit in there, but the rest of it I've been trading away. So let's show you it. I had to rebuild it many times because the first layer worked. When I added the second layer, I forgot to leave a gap in between, which meant the first layer on, the villager in the villager for the first layer was visible to the villager in the second layer, which meant that he could pick up food from there and he was no longer hungry, which broke the farm. So let's head up there and I'll show you it. So the first layer is the same as it was before. I've just finished it up and put all of the villagers in and stuff. So let's hop in. You can see we've got our farmer villager harvesting over here, and rest in peace, CPT blown up by a creeper in chat there. He heads over here to plant. He sees that villager, he chucks at it, and the food goes into the chest here, as you can see, through this hopper and this hopper. You can see hoppers from the top layer because I did that one slightly differently. So let's go up there now. Oh, what did I do? I've also realised that there's a lily pad missing there that I need to add. Right, let's head up to the next layer, shall we? So this is the next layer. This is the potato layer, and it's got another farmer villager. This farmer villager's layout is slightly different. Over here, he approaches this villager, and there's no villager for him to look at because he sees this villager. He tries to chuck the potato at him, and there's a hopper underneath here which picks it up immediately, and that funnels the contents down into the chest down below, which is the hopper line we saw before. So yeah, that works pretty well. We're about to see it in action. And now he'll plant there, and he'll throw his stuff to there, and then he'll go and get more. So let's head up to the third layer, which is again slightly different. I thought I'd also mention I've used waterlogged slabs here instead of lily pads, just so it's much cheaper, because I didn't have very many lily pads. But yeah, this is going well. So let's head up to the top layer now, and I'll show you what's going on. So, carrots again. And this one is basically the same as the first layer, except instead of heading down into a hopper, this time the stuff gets funneled across, and I do need to fill in that, is quite annoying there. And it falls down, and where it actually falls down is onto the piece of tilled soil from the layer below. So if we head back down into the layer below, you can see that there's a gap up here that points down actually, and this is where all of the stuff falls, and it gets immediately picked up before our farmer villager can pick it up, even if he is stood there. So that works a treat. I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. It did take quite a lot of troubleshooting to get to work. And I've also set up this massive wheat farm as well, which I'll explain to you in a bit, because I've also built myself a villager breeder and a villager trading hall whilst I've been away. I did record clips for these, but unfortunately, the recordings didn't work. And hopefully this recording is working. Third time lucky, guys. Hopefully it works. So anyway, what is the deal with this thing? That's my villager trading hall, and I'm going to take some of the crops away with me so I can actually trade when I'm over there. And I'll show you what it's all about. So I've created various systems which I'll walk you through, and I think the first thing I'll do is show you the villager breeder. The villager breeder is Nembom's design, which I'll link in the description if I remember. If not, you can search for it, Nembom villager breeder. And here it is. In fact, they're breeding at the moment, and I might as well just throw them a few more carrots, because that's what they used to breed. So as you can see, they pick up the carrots, and like so. They become willing. Their heads are trapped inside the glass block, so they're just able to pick up the crops. Not the crops. Yeah, the crops from here. And they use that to breed. We've got a villager up here, which is activating, which is just out of range of this village. And if we lower him, he's now in range of the village there, which means there's too many villagers in the population and they stop their breeding, as you can see. But if we lift them up again, they should start breeding. Because these guys, they can detect the village, but the village can't detect them. So they detect the village, and they're part of the village, so they're able to breed as a part of that village now, as you can see. But they're too far away from the village for the village to detect them. And so what the village does is it goes, oh, there's no villagers in my village, because that one is, of course, out of range, and so are these. So it goes, right, we need more villagers. So then these guys go, well, we need to make more villagers, so they breed. The babies pop out to the side here, because these are on fence gates, fall down here, and they are funneled into this area. The babies collect down here, and wow, there is a lot of them. Oh, I don't think I can actually get up. Oh, yeah, I can. A few of them get stuck in the elevator, but it's fine. And when they grow up, they make their way up to here. Right, now the babies are funneled along here, and I'll show you where they go. So the adults are now coming through here, and oh, there's an elevator for them, and then they make their way across into this area here, which is an entity cramming proof chamber. In fact, no, it's not. Oh no, I got rid of the entity cramming proof feature, didn't I? It used to be entity cramming proof. So this is the hall, and as you can see, it's pretty basic, and there's still villagers everywhere. These are all the villagers I've collected so far. Some of them aren't great, like we've got efficiency 5, but it's for 46, which isn't too good a price. We've got fortune 3 for 42, which is again not a good price. We've also got respiration 3, for example, for 13, infinity for 6, and yeah, some good ones too. And if they're not the best one, generally I write them there, and if they're close to the best one, I write down the price and then the best price next to it. So we've got some good trades, I'll just pan over them. We do have a mending villager, 34 emeralds, which is not the best trade in the world. And what's his first trade as well? Luck of the Sea, not really great. But it is a mending trade, and that's allowed us to get mending on our axe, both of our pickaxes, and I think that's actually all. Oh, we put it on our shovel as well. Basically, whenever my tools get low, I put mending on them. Haven't needed it on the sword yet, or the armor, which is awesome. And yeah, so I've basically been keeping all of my crops in here, and my emeralds in here too. And this is the villager breeder window. So now we should be able to test, actually, my villager sorting machine. So I'll grab some of my emeralds, shall I? And we'll give it a try. So this is it. As you can see, there's 3 buttons, and we can just click any of these to get a new villager. And he will arrive, or she, in here. It's an armourer. We might want to unlock him, so I unlock him. We need to do 2 trades to unlock his chestplate trade, which is the one we're going to see if it's any good. That's a bit stingy, but we've got to get it. There we go, like so. And then we head over, we see if it's a good trade. Oh, that did not unlock. There we are. Unbreaking 2 fire protection 2, not as good as the one I already have, so we hit this second button to reject him. And now we wait for the next villager, which is a librarian. So we're going to unlock this guy to see if he's good. And we do that. And we do it again. Buy some bookshelves. And actually that allows us to have a sustainable source of books when we're trading, which is nice. So now we got a few more books, which we can use to trade. We've got to buy some glass as well to unlock this guy, and that will unlock his second book trade. Hopefully it's mending. Silk Touch 13. I did find a better villager, but it's not at my villager trading hall. So I'm going to keep this guy, because that is an alright Silk Touch book trade, even it isn't the 6 emeralds that the previous one was. And let's see what the last trade is. Blast Protection 3, okay, not great. But we want to keep this guy, so we hit the second button here. And what will happen is he will head into this tube and come out here, and then we can push him into a new cell. Unfortunately, I've actually run out of cells, so I'm going to have to create a new one. And let's just quickly box in where this villager is going to come out. Yeah. There we are. So he's in there. And we're going to continue sorting through. As you can see, we can just reject the villager if we don't like his profession and get a new one really easily. This third option actually doesn't go anywhere yet. I have it just dump them into the sea at the moment, so the bad villagers get dumped onto there, as you can see, and die, and the good ones get dumped next to it, and what happens to them is that they just stay in the sea, and I do that so I can actually take them up to this farm, So my portal's on top, and there's another portal over on an island in this direction. So what I can do is take my villager in a boat over to that island. It's just the silhouette of it's looming over there. We can take the villager in a boat to the island, go through the portal, then go through the portal up there on top of my crop farm, and that was how I was actually pumping them in. Anyway, I want to show you the redstone next, so let's just reject one more villager and have a look at the redstone. So this is where my villager sits, and when I press the button, if I head down to the buttons, a few things happen. Not only does it retract the block, allowing this villager to come down this track, but also it powers the respective activator rail. So as you can see, each button has a repeater coming out, powering the activator rail, and that kicks off the villager in each section. So option 1 would kick it off onto that rail, option 2 would kick it onto here, and the third button would kick it off onto there. Then the redstone line down below has an observer going through it that powers this piston, which pushes the villager off of the line. In this case, it would dump the villager into the kill chamber. In the second case, it would dump it into a water stream, which takes it into our villager trading hall. And in the third case, it would dump it into the sea. So I can hook this up to different sides of the hall or different sections if I need to in the future. But this, oops, that was close. Yeah, that's the water stream place. And I don't know how I'm going to get out of here. I think what I'm going to have to do is break this glass and make my way up through the system. So that just prevents the villagers from wandering this glass when they're ejected. This is where all of our villagers sit, and as the minecart comes after here, after the villagers ejected, it picks it up. So this way we can serve minecarts because we only have to use one. And there's room for a few in here, but there is still entity cramming. So that is something we have to consider. But anyway, now I'm just gonna, I think I'll hop down and then, oh no, phew, I almost died then, and head up back through here. And I'll continue trading because I've got a lot of trading to do and I really want to unlock a mending villager, which is our total goal. Because we want to set up a shop really in the shopping district. Some point, maybe next episode, or maybe this episode, or maybe the episode after next. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to keep trading with these guys, getting some good librarians, throwing them food if they need to breed more, and rip CT up again from creeper damage. Although, ladies and gentlemen, after editing that, I had discovered that I've gone over time by a couple of minutes for this episode. My target for each episode is about 10 minutes. So I'm going to end up there, and we'll do the rest of our shenanigans in the next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you have anything you especially liked, or any criticism you would like to give me, then leave that in the comments too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.